Hello, good evening, welcome. I'm Yalek, and today we are going to be doing a very special edition of a Fat Fingers video. Fat Fingers is a five-man push team in Boom Beach, and we have been attempting for many months now to reach the top of the five-man leaderboard. Currently, we are sitting at number 12. We are late in our operation for the day, so we'll probably jump up, no scroll territory, I think. But a few nights ago, we had something fantastic happen. We finally, after so long, got this task force to the number one spot in the entire world. You can see the task force description there, which Sven edited to add in the names of the players who were on the team. At the time we did that, he also credited some of the players who helped us get here on this particular push, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. So there you see it on the left-hand side. Highest leaderboard position reached, number one, with 18,830 force points or whatever. Actually, I don't think that was the same day. But, yay us. Really happy that we finally got to do that, because I will be honest with you, there were times when I doubted that we were actually going to make it, and I've pushed with this task force before. It's a legacy task force out of the Triangle 9 family. You can see that there's a lot of operations started, very old task force, bottom left, created over 1100 days ago. So talking to some of the guys, having finally reached number one, we got many congratulations from people, and I found out that the current push that we're on is the third push that this group has done, this task force has done. And the first one, I wasn't really familiar with the history, but as it turns out, DCB and Maverick were a part of that team, which at one point reached number 2 in the world. And they were at various points on this push also on the team this time. Maverick was with us on the second push as well. So I thought that was pretty cool to learn some of the history of this very old and now decorated task force. So thought it would be cool to go back and look at the operation that got us there. Actually, I have a screenshot. This was, oops, there we go. That was the conversation afterwards. The screenshot was May the 14th. And that night, our operation ends around 8 p.m. my time. So this was around that time, and we got to sit there for a while. We haven't gotten to the place where, we're just up there unchallenged all day long. Don't know if we'll do that either. Not sure it's worth it. I've got the screenshot. We've got the you get a badge when you're the individual number one. You don't get anything like that for being on a team number one. But if you click on the stats, we've got the record there, and I'm pretty happy with that. You'll notice too, not a run of perfect ops by any means, but just a lot of very good operations that got us there. Good solid numbers, good averages every day, and that we just kept plugging along. So we'll go back to 3 days, 21 hours ago. That was the 11:31. This was the operation that did it, and I figured if we were ever going to celebrate any of our hits here, these would be the ones to do that with. So we'll just go in order. We'll start with mine. I had Titanic. It was the 262. Now, I probably should have hit the 298. This was not the nicest Titanic in the world, but also not the ugliest Titanic in the world. Very few shocks, even though it looks really messy. I think I figured I could do this with 4. These rocket launchers here don't range. There's a Doom cannon here. But, have to get these machine guns, and have to get rocket launchers and shock launcher here. The 2 inner ones don't matter, because I'll be standing next to them in their blind spot. And then there's 1 rocket launcher back here. So all in all, 4 shocks. Just messy looking. So I decided I was going to be really sure about this, and I farmed up a ton with bombers over here, and I knew I could get away with doing that because I clicked on the health earlier. It's not all that high, so that's, let's see, 7, 14 and a half, 16 and a half, so 1.6 1.65 million or something like that. And I'm starting to run out of room over here with the bombers, and I believe I'm going to flare over and keep them going and farm some more. Could be wrong. Maybe that was another hit. Oh, okay. So, nope. Must have been a different hit. Anyway, I flared my Zookas over and just let that bomber, you know, God bless you, man. Good luck out there. Now, I took this hit, again, I should have done the 298, but I took this hit because the 298 was dioxin, and I am not the best in this task force at dioxin, and I know that. I can do it, but Sven and franchise are definitely better than I am at it. So, you know, I took the hit that I was very comfortable with here, not trying to be a hero here, because, you know, this is where I figured it's a team effort. Oh yeah. And since the particular layout of this base is the way it is, I was able to get this mortar back here in one of the shocks with the shock launcher. I mean, this is the base that I'm good at. I wanted to make sure something got dead. And so I left the 298 for somebody who I know wasn't a ridiculous dioxin, but I left it for somebody on my team. I have the confidence that I know they're going to be able to knock it over. And that was Sven. So, lots to farm over here. He's going to do that. One boat of bombers this time. What is the health on this guy? And then we'll look at the shocks. So, pretty healthy. 9, 1.8, 1.9, 2.1 million on this dioxin. 1 shock, 2 shocks, 3 shocks, 4 shocks. Nothing extraordinary there, other than, you know, the health is high, so you want to have yourself a nice walk. Make sure you get your girls there, but, you know, nothing insane, no zmos, no microwavers, luckily, during this time. This was a few days ago. I believe we do have zmos. Oh no, we have microwavers again now. And I know that because I just bombed a hit in another task force that involved trying to get past a microwaver. It didn't go well. This luckily went better. We'll speed this up. He farms quite a bit. Which, again, I feel like that was... I mean, it doesn't hurt to farm if you've got the time to do it, because you're damaging the core with every single building that you destroy. But also, he is making sure that he has the GBE to do what he needs to do here. Those 3 bombers are still alive, and I'm wondering... One of them has gotten under smoke with the girls. 2 of them have. One of them got shot by the boom cannon nearest the shore. That's interesting. And that's the sort of thing that could cause you problems down the line with your parking spot, because, ooh, that is... Alright, well, he peeked a whole hell of a lot back here under the machine gun, but those girls that peeked ended up walking to the right-hand side, and they all got roasted. Which means he now does not have the delay on anything, and again, with those bombers, the problem with the bombers is that they can affect how you park. It's quite possible that they affected that walk right there as well. That should be out of range, so I don't think he'd bother, but maybe he farmed up the extra GBE for a 5th shock as well, just to be sure on this mortar. Still has plenty of Zookas, and he's still killing the core pretty quickly. We did have long shocks, extended shock time for this operation as well, which is always a beautiful thing. And as you can see, over the weekend, we had speed serum. So, speed, you can see that. Wait, where'd the bombers go? No. I don't know. Anyway, he managed to kill it. I was a little worried when he lost the delay, but again, with the bombers, it can be tricky sometimes to make sure that they go away before you start walking your Zookas. Ideally, I try to have a plan for that, but sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, a plan for making sure that my bombers get killed while before I start walking my Zookas where they need to go. So this is dot.what on Machina. Not the highest health, 1.2, 1.4, plus a little bit. Can't use bullet here, doesn't have the right defenses in place for that. And there's a passel of shocks there, depending on how you play this. Little sloppy at the beach. He got seen back here, so again, worth noting that he has now lost the delay on these particular rocket launchers anyway, if nothing else. This rocket he won't have to account for because he'll be sitting in its blind spot. That's handy. Is that mine going to be an issue? It might have popped off a girl or two, but nothing major. And getting himself settled as far back as he can, and he just goes with 4 shocks from there. Yeah, actually not as bad as it looked. It looked a little extra aggressive because of all the extra rocket launchers up here, but not too terrible. And he handled it very easily, despite losing the delay. So, again, good for him. Now, I am fairly sure the next hit also loses... No, might be franchise on Waterloo. Anyway, I was interested in this ribbon cable. Haven't watched the replay. Not otherwise a very difficult ribbon cable, except there is a grappler down here. Usually, this 4-pack of defenses is a set of rocket launchers, which in many cases you can just barrage out. Can't do that with the grappler because it's going to have, you know, the health of a prototype. It was much higher health. You're not barding that. So he decides to go to the right hand side, presumably to avoid that grappler as much as possible. This is a tricky play because the right hand side on ribbon cable very often looks easier, but your girls get distracted, particularly in this case with a ribbon cable with all of these cells. Your Zookas can get distracted, and then you just lose the time that you need to kill the core. The shield is still going to be partially up because these shield generators are defended over here. So you have to burn through 4 of the 6 shield generators on this base. He's going to kill the 2 to the left-hand side. We can put that down into 2 times, I suppose. He has cleared a bunch of things on top of the core, which is good. Has to watch out for the range of this rocket. He's getting very near it, but just sort of brushes up against it and then gets back out of dodge. And he is using the long shocks as much as possible to try to keep that grappler occupied. Also using Sparky's hack ability to try to keep that grappler occupied whenever possible. And he takes advantage of the speed serum. I don't know how much time he had left. You can see that his girls did get chewed up a little bit. That tends to happen. There's even with just one-shot defenses back here behind the core, no splash damage. But even with the one-shot defenses, over the amount of time that you're standing there shooting in this attack, they can do a number on you and really pick off, really pick off your troops. So, risky play. He did it. And I believe this might not be the one I'm thinking of. And then again, it might. Anyway, this is franchise on Waterloo, 155 for this operation, and extremely hot beach. I probably would have gone with just heavies on the beach, so yeah, that's what he did. So drop a boat of heavies, let the rocket shoot at them. Zooka's over to the left. Heavies are still getting shot at, and his Zookas are more or less safely under smoke. A couple of those heavies are trying to get along with the Zookas, and it doesn't look like they're... Nope, last one died. They did not make it. But, that doesn't matter if the heavies make it or not, to be honest. A little bit of peeking with the machine gun there. It's sort of scratching his girls up a little bit. But numbers seem fine. A little bit more peeking. Again, not, nothing spectacular about this operation. It was good enough, I guess, if that's how you... We just needed to be good enough to get to the top of the leaderboard. Good enough for long enough. A lot of peeking. Brick is way out front. He one-smokes his kill zone. He loves to do that. Generally, I'll take the safe route there, but, to each their own. So, again, shock early because we have lost delay on things. So, shocks out nice and early. With the extended shocks, you can go ahead and do that. The extra time, accounts for losing the delay and stuff like that. So, health on this guy, oh, can't click it now. Oh, there it is. Just about 1 million. So, it's a baby Waterloo, but still, with the hot beach and everything. It takes a little bit of trickeration to get it down. Anyway, and that was it. That was the night of all nights. Again, I'd kind of I'm not going to lie, I had sort of, I'm not going to say I had fully despaired of reaching the top spot, but I had some serious doubts. In particular, like a month ago, we had a couple of just horrible operations, bad rolls, unlucky breaks, you know, poor play. You know, again with the numbers, you got to have the average and keep the numbers up. And then we had a couple in a row that were like 450 and 550 or something like that, and dropped us all the way back down into the 30s on the leaderboard again. And I was thinking to myself, you know, it might not happen. But the team wanted to keep on. In particular, I think it's very valuable for us to do that, because we have a couple guys here who have never done that or done this sort of thing before. dot.what and Argus are both new to the pushing thing. And you know, there weren't that many people around us in the 9 family who were interested in doing this, so I figured it was still valuable for those guys to, you know, get comfortable with this sort of pressure. Because there is pressure, and let me tell you, that was the hardest part about that Titanic hit that you saw me do earlier. It wasn't the base itself, it was dropping the goddamn bombardiers on the right side of the beach, and then sitting there for like 2 minutes and 10 seconds while they farmed, or whatever it was, and just trying not to think about it. Because I just kept going back, going over the play in my mind, going over the shocks, going over the plan, whatever, but just trying not to think about it, because that really, you know, there is a trick to doing that. So, anyway, as I said, this is a yay us kind of moment. I'm not really sure what happens with these videos now, because, I mean, are we even going to continue on? I don't know about that either. Once you've reached the #1 spot in the world, who wants to see more videos? I don't know. Maybe people do. But, not really sure about that. I am looking forward to, at some point, I think at some point we will wrap up this push, and you know, having achieved what we wanted to, and I am looking forward to the break that I will be taking after that from all kinds of competitive play for, I don't know, as long as I'm as long as I'm feeling I need to be on that break, I guess. Was thinking, you know, maybe I can get back to doing some of my warrior videos or something like that. Haven't done one of those in a while, but I'm not really decided. But anyway, for now, we're Fat Fingers, and we literally are, or have been, #1. And I like the history that went into that too. Like I said, some of the players who came back were from the first push, and Maverick again was from the first, second, and third push. And so, you know, those guys are part of this as well. So anyway, thanks to those guys, congratulations to my team here, and thanks to you guys for watching. Now I believe I owe a hit for today's operation, and I can stop jibber-jabbering and go do that now. Anyway, like the video, thumbs up, and all that stuff, and I will catch you guys later. Take care.